In this video, I'm about to show you 10 US avocado brands you need to stop buying, and 5 you should actually get, starting with the worst offenders on the market right now. Number 10. Market-side guacamole. Walmart's market-side guacamole is one of the biggest selling guacamoles in the country by sheer volume, and almost nobody reads what's actually in it. Flip that container over, and you'll find isoscorbic acid, sodium acid sulfate, and citric acid doing a whole lot more than just preserving freshness. Isoscorbic acid is a synthetic preservative industrially produced, and it's working overtime in this product because the actual avocado content is low enough that browning would show up almost immediately without the chemical cover. Budget guacamole lab tests have regularly found avocado concentrations as low as 50 to 60% of total weight, with the rest padded out with water, cornstarch, and acids. This thing is engineered to look like guacamole on the label and taste like guacamole on the first chip. After that, you're eating a chemistry project. When a company's only real goal is hitting a price point, the avocado is always the first thing that quietly gets reduced, and they count on you never noticing. Number 9. Good Foods Chunky Guacamole. Good Foods positions themselves as a clean label brand premium shelf space at Whole Foods, Costco, the works. And that positioning has people paying more, trusting the product, but turn it over and there it is, soybean oil in a guacamole. Soybean oil is one of the most processed industrial oils in the entire American food supply, and it is the exact opposite of what clean label is supposed to mean. Avocados are already around 15% fat by weight, mostly oleic acid, the good stuff. There is zero nutritional or culinary reason to add soybean oil to guacamole unless you are stretching the product and cutting the cost per unit. They are charging you a premium while quietly padding the product with one of the cheapest industrial oils on the market. That is not a clean label. That is a clean-looking label. And there is a very big difference between those two things. They are betting you won't flip the package over. Number 8. Dean's Guacamole Dip. Dean's Guacamole Dip should probably be called something else entirely, because calling it guacamole is a stretch by any honest measure. The ingredient list includes modified food starch, whey protein concentrate, and less than 2% avocado. Less than 2%! That is not a guacamole. That is a sour cream dip with a green tint and an avocado picture on the front. The FDA has no specific standard of identity for guacamole the way it does for mayo or peanut butter, so companies are legally allowed to call something guacamole dip even when the avocado content is basically decorative. Dean's exploits that gap completely. The whey protein is there for texture, the modified starch creates the body that actual avocado should be providing, and the natural flavor on the label? That's doing the work of tasting like avocado, since there isn't nearly enough real avocado in there to produce that flavor on its own. Every time a company pulls something like this, they're banking on the fact that most people trust the label and never read the back. Number 7. Yucatan Guacamole. Yucatan sounds authentic. Sounds like it's coming from somewhere real, somewhere with actual avocado trees and a family recipe. But Yucatan Guacamole is owned by Megamex Foods, a joint venture between Hormel Foods and Herdez Group, two massive industrial food operations. The guacamole uses a blend of avocado with vegetable oils as filler, and the chunky varieties contain a significant proportion of water and acidifiers to carry the product through long distribution chains. Here's the part that really gets me. The avocado in Yucatan has typically already been pureed, frozen, and then reconstituted before it ever hits the blending stage. A 2018 analysis in Post-Harvest Biology and Technology found that frozen reconstituted avocado puree had measurably lower polyphenol content than fresh processed avocado. Those polyphenols are a big part of why avocados have the health reputation they do. You are paying for the name and the nostalgic label. The actual product inside that container has traveled a long industrial road before it reaches your chip. Number 6. Sabra Guacamole. Sabra is everywhere, one of the biggest dip brands in the country, and they have used that distribution muscle to push their guacamole into basically every grocery store in America. But Sabra's guacamole has a recurring problem that doesn't get talked about enough. In 2016, Sabra issued a nationwide recall of their classic hummus over Listeria monocytogenes contamination, and while that recall was primarily hummus, it exposed serious systemic issues at their Virginia production facility that raised real questions about quality control across their entire product line. Beyond the safety record, Sabra's guacamole leans heavily on sodium bisulfite for color preservation. Sodium bisulfite is a sulfite compound the FDA requires to be disclosed on labels because it is a documented allergen trigger affecting an estimated 1% of the general population and up to 5% of people with asthma. For a product marketed as a healthy, natural option, that is a significant gap between image and reality. Their distribution is impressive, their transparency is not. Number 5. Herdez Guacamole Salsa. Herdez makes decent salsa, that part is fair. But their guacamole salsa is a naming trick more than anything else. This is not guacamole with salsa mixed in. It is a salsa with avocado as a minor component. The primary ingredients are tomatoes, tomatillos, and peppers. Avocado content sits at roughly 15 to 20% of the total product. You can confirm this yourself by seeing where avocado falls on the ingredient list relative to everything else. The issue is not that it is a bad salsa. The issue is the labeling strategy, positioning in the guacamole section to capture shoppers looking for avocado products, while delivering something that is fundamentally a tomato-based product. On top of that, it contains sodium benzoate, a preservative that a widely cited 2007 study in The Lancet linked to increased hyperactivity in children when combined with certain food dyes. When you are already paying extra because guacamole is on the label, finding 15% avocado content and sodium benzoate is not the deal it looks like. Number 4. Kraft Avocado Oil Mayonnaise. Kraft is one of the most trusted names in American food, and they know it, which is exactly why you have to be careful. Kraft launched an avocado oil mayo to compete in the Better For You segment. But look at the ingredient list. Avocado oil is there, but soybean oil also appears, and soybean oil sits higher on the list than avocado oil does. In U.S. food labeling, ingredients are listed by weight in descending order. That means Kraft's avocado oil mayo contains more soybean oil than it contains avocado oil. It is a product named after an ingredient that is not the dominant ingredient. A 2020 Consumer Report analysis found this exact practice across multiple mainstream brands, enough avocado oil to make the label claim, while industrial seed oils do the real work on cost and volume. Kraft Heinz is a $112 billion company. They had every resource available to formulate this product correctly. They chose not to. That is not an oversight. That is a margin decision dressed up in a health halo. Number 3. Spectrum Naturals Avocado Oil. Spectrum Naturals sits in the natural foods aisle, the kind of product health-conscious shoppers reach for because everything about the brand signals quality and transparency. But a 2020 study out of UC Davis tested over 24 avocado oil brands sold in the US and found that more than 82% were either oxidized before the expiration date or were adulterated, meaning blended with cheaper oils like soybean or sunflower oil. Spectrum was among the brands tested and did not come out clean. Spectrum Naturals is owned by Hain Celestial Group, a large natural foods conglomerate that has made a business of acquiring trustworthy brand names and then scaling production in ways that don't always maintain the quality those names were built on. Oxidized cooking oil is not a minor inconvenience. When polyunsaturated fats oxidize, they form compounds including aldehydes and lipid peroxides that multiple studies have linked to cellular damage and inflammatory responses. You are buying this oil specifically because you think it is healthier. Getting a degraded or adulterated product is not just a ripoff, it is the exact opposite of what you paid for. Number 2. Curation Foods Packaged Avocados. Curation Foods, owned by Landec Corporation, supplies packaged avocado products through major U.S. retailers under brands including Eat Smart. They market their BioAgri modified atmosphere packaging as a breakthrough in freshness extension. But in 2019, Curation Foods was at the center of a voluntary recall affecting over 6,000 cases of their packaged avocado products halved, sliced, and diced across 34 U.S. states due to Listeria monocytogenes contamination. Listeria is particularly dangerous for older adults and anyone with a compromised immune system, the exact people often buying fresh-cut avocado products for their health benefits. The business model here depends on taking something nature designed to ripen on its own timeline and forcing it into extended shelf life through industrial packaging. That process increases handling and exposure time, which is precisely where Listeria risk rises. When you buy pre-cut avocado in sealed packaging, you are trusting a long industrial chain you cannot see. Curation Foods' track record makes that trust difficult to justify. Number 1. Fresh Del Monte Avocados. Fresh Del Monte is one of the largest produce companies in the world, nearly $3 billion in annual revenue, and the name carries real weight in the produce aisle. But their packaged and processed avocado line has a record that should make any careful shopper stop and think. Independent testing of Del Monte's packaged avocado products has repeatedly flagged inconsistent ripeness avocados sold as ready to eat that are either rock hard or already turning. Their ripening rooms use ethylene gas to artificially trigger ripeness at scale, and when that process is not managed consistently, you get exactly that kind of hit-or-miss quality on the shelf. Their supply chain spans Guatemala, Honduras, and multiple other countries across Latin America, and at that scale, consistent quality control is genuinely difficult to maintain. Fair food advocacy groups have also documented labor and sourcing concerns within Del Monte's Central American supply chains. At the end of the day, you are paying premium produce prices for an avocado. You deserve a product that was handled with care from the farm to the shelf. Del Monte's process line consistently falls short of that standard. Number 1 on this list for a reason. Now look, not every avocado brand out there is trying to rob you blind. There are actually a few companies doing this right. Here are the 5 worth your money. Number 5. Holy Guacamole. Holy Guacamole is probably the most recognizable name in the refrigerated guacamole section, and for once, the popular choice is actually the right one. Holy uses high-pressure processing HPP instead of heat pasteurization. Here's why that matters. Heat kills bacteria, but it also kills flavor and destroys texture. HPP uses cold water pressure to do the same job without cooking the product. The result is a guacamole that still tastes like actual avocado when you open the package. The classic variety ingredient list is clean, Hass, avocados, tomatoes, onions, jalapenos, cilantro, lime juice, concentrate, salt. That is it. No mystery stabilizers, no synthetic color agents, wholly sources from Hass avocado growers in Mexico and California, the 2 regions producing the real stuff. For around $4 to $5 for a 12-ounce container, this is one of the best value plays in the refrigerated section. Not fancy, not trying to be artisanal, just honest guacamole that does not insult your intelligence. In this market, that counts for a whole lot. Number 4. Hope Foods. Hope Foods does not get nearly enough credit. Based in Boulder, Colorado, they make avocado-based products. Their avocado hummus line especially built around real ingredients without the usual corner cutting. Organic chickpeas, organic tahini, real Hass avocados, cold blended to preserve nutritional value. Hope Foods is a certified B Corporation independently verified for environmental and social standards, which is not nothing when you are talking about a food brand. A 2019 study in the journal Food Chemistry found that avocados retain significantly more of their monounsaturated fat content, specifically oleic acid, when processed at lower temperatures. Hope Foods builds their entire production philosophy around exactly that. In a market where half the avocado product brands are padding their spreads with soybean oil and calling it avocado-based, Hope Foods does the opposite. You are getting a brand that actually thought carefully about what goes into the container and at a price point that is fair for what you are getting. Number 3. Chosen Foods Avocado Oil. If you cook with avocado oil at all, Chosen Foods needs to be in your cabinet. The UC Davis study that found over 82% of avocado oil brands in the US were either oxidized or adulterated with cheaper oils. Chosen Foods was one of the very few brands that came out clean. Their 100% pure avocado oil is cold pressed from Hass avocados and has a verified smoke point of around 500 degrees Fahrenheit, one of the highest of any cooking oil. making it genuinely useful for high-heat cooking in a way that olive oil is not. They third-party test every batch and publish their results. For a cooking oil, that level of transparency is rare. The fact that more than 4 out of 5 avocado oil brands on the US market are essentially misleading you about what is in the bottle makes chosen foods not just a good choice, it makes them almost essential if you actually care about what you are cooking with. Number 2. Sir Kensington's Avocado Oil Mayonnaise. Sir Kensington's has been doing things differently since 2010, and their avocado oil mayo is one of the cleaner products in a mayo category full of real garbage. Most American mayo is built on refined soybean oil or a canola soy blend. Sir Kensington's replaced that with avocado oil as the primary fat, which changes the entire nutritional profile. Avocado oil is predominantly oleic acid, the same monounsaturated fat behind olive oil's health reputation. Their ingredient list is short: avocado oil, whole eggs, egg yolk, distilled vinegar, water, salt, rosemary extract. That rosemary extract is used as a natural antioxidant instead of synthetic preservatives like EDTA, which you will find in most conventional mayo. Unilever acquired Sir Kensington's in 2017, and some customers were nervous about what that meant for quality, but the formulation has held. For a mayo that actually earns the better for you label it carries, this one delivers every single time. Number 1. Primal Kitchen Avocado Oil Mayo. Primal Kitchen is the number 1 recommendation on this entire list. Founded by Mark Sisson in 2015, the brand was built around one specific commitment: replacing inflammatory industrial seed oils with avocado oil across every product they make. A 2021 review in the journal Nutrients found that diets high in linoleic acid, the primary fat in soybean and corn oil, were associated with elevated inflammatory markers in multiple clinical studies. Primal Kitchen's mayo contains 0 soybean oil, 0 canola oil, 0 corn oil. Their avocado oil is certified non-GMO, sourced through a supply chain they have been transparent about. Cage-free eggs, organic rosemary extract, organic vinegar, no added sugar, which some competing mayonnaises quietly sneak in to balance the acid. General Mills acquired Primal Kitchen in 2019. And yes, every time a conglomerate buys a clean brand, the alarm bells go off. But the formulation is unchanged and still independently verified. For anyone trying to get away from the seed oil avalanche flooding the American food supply, Primal Kitchen is the one to keep in your refrigerator. This is the brand that genuinely earned the top spot.